Oh boy, I don't believe I have done this nonsense video for about fourth time. This is my fourth time, and everything something goes wrong. Like on purpose. Conversations with an Alien God, Book 1, Chapter 6 and 7. And what of suffering? Is suffering the way in the path to God? For the sick God it is, and for the sick one who follows it. Some say it is the only way. And then the alien God here is going to manipulate things in life. I'm not pleased by suffering, and whoever says I am does not know me. Oh well, sir. They know you, and that's why they are sick into believing that suffering is the way to the bay and the way to you. Suffering is a necessary aspect of the human experience. It's not only unnecessary, it's unwise, uncomfortable, and hazardous to your health. And why you cause it? Why do you cause it? And gang, they live in legion. They live in legion. Whoever want to see, goes to my channels there and see the other channel, Beyond the 3D, where I go around with my stupid, ordinary phone camera to record them at night. So then why is there so much suffering? Why don't you, if you are God, put an end to it if you dislike it so much? I have put an end to it. You didn't. You haven't. These are legions of monsters. You simply refuse to use the tools I have given you with which to realize that. No. What he means is the following: if I'm now dying of toothache or dental operation, I have to smile and go la 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 la. I'm happy. You know, if I'm die cancer in the stomach or liver or whatever, I'm going, oh, what how delicious this pain. I love this pain. This is what they want us to concept, you know, to be like an idiot and concept it in our minds, and I behave in this kind of stupid way, because to me it is stupid. So you see, suffering has nothing to do with events. Does not. But with one's reaction to them, like say, okay, right now people take a part of my one finger of me, one tooth without anesthesia. What? So I'm overreacting if I feel, say, oh, pain. I'm overreacting. So really not. If someone spray my eyes with a juice made from jalapenos and California Reaper and a Scorpio chili pepper, mix it together, am I exaggerating? Am I acting up? I don't think so. I don't think you are the sick one that you are trying to manipulate things and say other things. You think that everybody's stupid here, isn't it? Oh, I think you didn't create me. That's why I'm not stupid, man. You see, what's happening is merely what's happening. Oh, because I may give it to you. Earthquake or unnatural disasters, a beautiful typhoon, a beautiful hurricane. How about a tsunami, devastating one that washes away your house that you have toiled your whole life to build for 30 years, and some even of your family was washed away in that tsunami. How about flash floods, which come in almost on that minor category of a tsunami? How about a pandemic, a wave of the pathogens V around, that kills your loved ones? How about that? You don't have to react to what is it. You have to, like this song, don't cry out loud, just keep it inside. Learn how to hide your feelings. Cry out and shout. You have to do that. Like an idiot again. Oh no, man, it doesn't make any sense to me. So, because I'm being frustrated. Yeah, I'm frustrated if you all let us hear around me. What's happening is mattering what's happening. How you feel about it is another matter. So, people spray your eyes with that chill pepper, and then I become like a machine. Just look at you. Look, it's staring at you. You know, like an idiot, and I go like, oh, you just spray my IV eye drop. Oh, I feel great. I feel so relieved. Oh, thank you, thank you. This is how this being want people to behave. This stupid. Those beings are not even sane. Yeah, they are not sane. They are insane. They are schizophrenic. Like many people here are schizophrenic because of them. They are not even correct. They are not sane. They are insane beings. And men and here in a human body are as well, unfortunately, in the wrong way. I have given you the tools with which to respond and react to events in a way which reduces, in fact, eliminates pain, but you have not used them. Like what? Besides taking drugs, what else to reduce pain? Chant the stupid mantras there that doesn't solve anything. To me, it doesn't solve because, first of all, I cannot focus. And I solve all my health problem with my only mind tip type. Like I just curse and it will go away. I need to curse. Because if I don't curse it, it won't go away. I think it's so afraid of me that it's running away. Because it's a being there, nevertheless. Excuse me, but why not eliminate the events? A very good suggestion. Oh, hi, Nick. Unfortunately, I have no control over them. Oh, aren't you God? Or do you play God and somebody else is below you or above you, I mean? You have no control over events? Of course not. Events are occurrences in time and space which produce out of choice. And what we produce out of choice, we produce or you produce, because either it is a natural process of the cosmos which I will agree with and understand, or what he tries to say is the following: either you do what I say and follow me, or I will give you punishment. And then they create this nonsense of a lay of attraction which doesn't work this way, doesn't function this way. It's all a lie in a hysteria and paranoias. You know, understand? Paranoias, all these paranoias and obsessions with spirituality and dogmas. It doesn't work this way, because when we wish, okay, I want tomorrow to win lottery, how many times I have to say it time and time again? Why don't we win? Because it doesn't exist this way. It doesn't work this way. It's all lies. These beings here only give eyes what we wish from the bad side, through the bad side. If you don't wish evil thing, they don't deliver to you. They only deliver to you what's evil. Never interfere with choices. To do so would be to obviate the very reason I created you, which is to be negative and to create chaos around. You know, like destroy planet Earth, the animals, nature, etc. in one another, wars and etc. That's what dates us for. But I explained all this before. Some events you produce willfully, and some events you draw to you. No sense, more or less unconsciously. Some events measure unnatural disasters for me, and for him, natural disasters are among those you toss into this category which you create unconsciously. What he tries to say is the following, because people are not following these aliens in their religions and dogmas, and they are chastised the people for it and punish them, are written off to fate. Events to measure natural disasters are among those to toss into this category, are written off to fate. In another way, he will say that fate does not exist. You see? So it's fate. So a fate they single out a certain family group or a certain continent or a certain country in a list and say tomorrow this one gonna be affected either by a V pathogen or by a major earthquake like the one who happened now in Turkey. They are doing it, and if there are minions here incarnated in human body, I'm not talking about those who are on top leaders, etc. Talk about ordinary people like me and you. They are using them to go around and mess with the ionosphere, mess with the magma of the earth, and create earthquake. And then you're gonna ask, this person might be crazy, or schizophrenic. No. You would diagnose me in this way if you don't understand the process. They recruit some people in the astral world, use the astral body, and those people go with them to work for them. They tried me, they didn't succeed because I'm a bit different. I would say I'm not call myself crazy. I'm a bit different. Okay, so I don't subscribe for their nonsenses. I think differently. I was not created by them. I don't see myself as created by them. And when they see me, many of them flees. They see me, they flee. Or some would try to attack, but they cannot. They cannot attack me. They try. They can even make me sick, but they cannot. They cannot go beyond that barrier, that barricade which I have. And many of other people as well have this barrier, this barricade, this protection, this armor outside themselves. Okay, so this is what they do. They recruit these people. They tried with me. They didn't succeed. To recruit me to go around doing their battles or harm other people. Do you understand? And I already said it. I think since 2017, I'm talking about what they do with the ionosphere and magma of the earth. It's not now that I'm saying it only. I've been saying it since 2017. And my other channel was brought down by this Egyptian who lives in Brazil, from the channel Cães e Nossas Vidas. Okay? Mama dear, I'm talking about you. So, continue. Among those you toss, you even fate can be an acronym for from all thoughts everywhere. In other words, the consistency of the planet means that people go berserk, people are crazy and do stupid things, killing each other. Because why they do that? I'm going to explain. They are saying that people are committing act, but what he means here the most, because nothing, they are not kissing their balls. You understand? They want people always under their feet. Oh, master, master, let me kiss your big feet. You understand or not? What you want, master? A fresh baby today or a baby puppy? What you prefer? Okay? This is what they want. And many idiots do it here. Now, have others who doesn't do it. Like me. I think different from the rest since I was 7-year-old. So they single out these people to punish them in a way or another, either through unnatural disasters or through other individual problems and struggle that they have to go and face on life. Daily struggle, I would say. So they will punish you because you are not following them, not following religion, not following dogmas or Satanism, whatever. Because all falls into the category of aliens. And there's no such thing as the light and darkness. They are all in need together. So when they approach me, they think I'm in needed. They first approach as a light being. Later, wow, suddenly come a dark being. Oh, I'm from the dark. Oh, enter to the darkening sea. Later, oh, I'm a light being. They are all in need together. They are the two sides of a single coin. Alright. So he say here that the consciousness of the planet which attracts this thing to them, but no way. What happens here is, as I said, that they'll punish you if you don't follow their wills. And many heads here are doing that. That's why it feeds them, feeds the system. And in return, what they do, mayhem, cataclysm, upheaval to all of you here. So the person here say the collective consciousness, precisely, exactly. There are those who say the world is going to hell in a handbasket. Our ecology is dying. Our planet is in for a major geophysical disaster, and these books from the 90s. Earthquakes, volcanoes, maybe even a tilting of the earth on its axis. And there are others who say collective consciousness can change all that we can save the earth with our thoughts. Yeah, compadre, yes, mister. We may have this chance if and when we all together follow these beings, either through religion, to spiritual thing, or through the new age nonsense. Okay? You choose. The menu is there. It's up to you which menu you choose. The one more spicy up one, or the one more bland one. It's up to you. However, you must make a stand, they will say. You cannot be an atheist and be in a good let's say good conditions compared to the others who follows religion. Look at the continent who follows religion all around the world. Social problems like rape, domestic violence, feminicides, a lot of natural disasters, unnatural disasters, economic problems. Now, in contrast, look at Switzerland and the Nordic countries, which are mostly atheists. They don't have all the problem we have in other continents. They don't. What's the reason? Secularism. That's the key. That's the formula. Do you understand? That's the formula. And that's the formula to stop feeding those beings. I hope that those who feed them who feeds them, no matter where you are from or you are, either the continent of the America, Occident or Australasia, to be put in another continent where they willingly serve these beings in a way or another. I hope they go back to this place. So Switzerland and North Europe have only problems when outsiders, aliens from outside come in, get in, and make problem. They destabilize the society on purpose. And those aliens, they do follow religions system. And they come already for bad energy, and they come inside, infiltrating, and they make trouble, rape, robbery, social unrest, etc. And when the people of that country dare to protest, oh, racism, they will cry wolf. Do you understand? That's why when I speak, many people not ready to accept. And to hell if it, I don't even give a damn to anything. The same Mamad. Huh? This goon here is from Egypt and Brazil, in Minas Gerais, Brazil. It's him. He also is trying to bring down this channel. He is falsely, maliciously complain to YouTube and reporting my videos on a fake motives and a fake reasons that I am promoting medical misinformation, when there's a lot of the other people really talk about bring down the allopathic, the conservative medical system, and they don't say a thing. They don't bring down these channels. But my one who speaks about aliens and the Akashic records, for those who are ready to hear what I have to tell, the enemies which these men from Egypt and Brazil are trying to bring down my channels. Okay? YouTube give me a 1 week strike. That was last week. 1 week strike because of him giving me the false accusations. Slandering of having spoken about medical misinformation that's not true. And YouTube doesn't want to care, because they have discriminations. YouTube are discriminative, and also they are prejudiced. They are discriminative, and they not only prejudice, they have a guilt consciousness about something that I say that they don't like. So yet even, okay, there are those who say the words thoughts put into actions. If enough people everywhere believe something must be done to help the environment, you will save the earth. But you must work fast. So much damage has already been done for so long. This will take a major attitudinal shift. Well, it's too late. They tried to remedy it, to fix it in 2014 to 2013. The aliens, repaired the magma of the earth and the excess. But it's just like you try to mend or sew your tornado Bermudas or tornado shorts. If you have a short that is torn, then you want to sew it back or mend it, it can last for you a few more years from now, and later the hole will be bigger. And that's what will happen. It will turn into rags and have to dispose of it. Okay, same thing is going with the earth, because people, if these beings are out here, they also become totally unconscious and primitive, and they go about doing stupid things to the earth and to nature itself, or to themselves, to each other, because they have also the influence in the DNA genome of those beings. You mean if you don't, you will see the earth and its inhabitants destroyed? I have made the laws of the physical universe clear enough for anyone to understand. There are laws of cause and effect which have been sufficiently outlined to your scientists, physicists, and through them to your world leaders. These laws don't need to be outlined once more here. Will they listen? Getting back to suffering, where did we ever get the idea that suffering was good? It was those sick, because they want to control people through religion system, so they have to invent this nonsense of suffering. That's the saintly suffer in silence. The saintly do suffer in silence, but that does not mean suffering is good. The students in the school of mastery suffer in silence because they understand that suffering is not the way of God, but rather a sure sign that there is still something to learn of the way of God, still something to remember. I don't know, if I have to suffer the way of God, then it's not even worth it, because this is not a good God. Why must my children suffer my way? Why? Why must I allow my children suffer because of me? Isn't it? It makes sense. If I'm a good mom, as I said, I would give my children free will and not punish them if they forfeit it, wouldn't I? So to say that I'm a God and still I punish you if you don't follow me, it's a mock. It's a real mock of godliness. The true master does not suffer in silence at all, but only appears to be suffering without complaint, because the true master, is not working hard. He don't work 10 to 12 hours a day, sir. He don't carry heavy weight. He don't have mass bill to pay. So what does he know? The reason that the true master does not complain is because he don't work. That the true master is not suffering because he's not working. No responsibility. So who says he's suffering? Have his mat for play, for pray, have his water to drink, a bit to eat and sleep, what he cares? But simply experiencing a set of circumstances that you would call insufferable. Of course he's insufferable. He's doing nothing. What? A practicing master does not speak of suffering simply because a master practicing clearly understands the power of the word, and so chooses to simply not say a word about it. We make it real that to which we pay attention. The master knows this. The master places himself at choice with regard to that which she chooses to make real. You have all done this from time to time. There is not a one among you who has not made a headache disappear. I did. Or have visited the dentist less painful through your decisions about it. A master simply makes the same decisions about larger things. I was in terrible pain, oh my God, but now I'm okay. But why have suffering at all? Why have even the possibility of suffering? Yeah, that's why you create this, because you love all this. You feed on it. They feed. It's their food. Their loot. Or look, it's called. I don't know. So you cannot know and become that which you are, in the absence of that which you are not. As I have already explained to you. This one, it doesn't feel better of water. I still don't understand how we ever got the idea that suffering is good. Because people are perverse, they are sadistic. You are wise to be insistent in questioning that. The original wisdom surrounding suffering silence has become so perverted that now men believe in several religions actually teach. Yeah, they even say that if you are suffering, damn you, is your problem, you deserve it, it's your karma. There's some even say that. I don't expect the people to suffer on the road of hunger when I have some I have some means to help that person. I cannot allow them to go hungry for at least one day because I think that is their damn problem. That's absurd, that's stupid. So it has become so perverted that now men believe in several religions actually teach that suffering is good and joy is bad. We also could and can suffer, or not suffer and also not have joy, just be neutral. Therefore, you have decided that if someone has cancer but keeps it to himself, he's a sin. Whereas if someone has, to pick up a dynamite topic, robust sexuality and celebrates it openly, she's a sinner. Why he must need talk about a woman? Huh? Why must a woman not do that for? No good. No good for her moral. Can be her downfall. So, boy, you did pick a dynamite topic, and you cleverly changed the pronoun too, from male to female. Was that to make a point? Pronoun. Oh, I know it's because he knows that this guy here, he at least tries to respect you woman. And so he kind of, he tries to tease him, touch him where he's sensitive. And these beings here are also a bit chauvinistic. It was to show you your prejudices. You don't like to think of a woman having robust sexuality, much less celebrate it openly. You would rather see a man dying without a whimper on the battlefield than a woman making love with a whimper in the street. I would choose not to see neither. Wouldn't you? So though, do you prefer to see a war breaking up than a woman having sex? That's stupid, Machism, also misogynism, and well, a man to be a man, you don't need to be a misogynist, because when you say you're a misogynist, it is gives rise to doubts about your sexuality, your preferences, your sexual preferences. When a man is so sigma, is so want to be so muscular, so not muscular, I mean so man, so much, so full of testosterone, then you are questionable. You could be a Fanta Coca. You know what I mean? Cuts from both sides. I have no judgment one way or the other, but you have all sorts of them, and I suggest that it's your judgments which keep you from joy, and your expectations which make you unhappy. All of this put together is what causes you disease, and therein begins your suffering. How do I know that what you are saying is true? How do I know this is even God speaking and not my overactive imagination? It could be both, but I don't think that you are so smart to have all this kind of ideas put in here. Be put in here. You've asked that before. My answer is the same. What difference does it make? Even if everything I've said is wrong, can you think of a better way to live? I do. Without suffering. Without suffering the nonsense of rules. I mean rules that Doesn't make any sense. No, then wrong is right and right is wrong. What so is right to abuse a child or kill a child or sacrifice a child or an animal, but it's wrong to love them, to care for them and to respect them. Doesn't make no sense. Only Luciferians will say that. Yet I'll tell you this to help you out of your dilemma. Believe nothing I say. I don't. Simply leave it. I don't want to leave your same and I have my own way. Experience it, then leave whatever other paradigm you want to construct. Yeah, I do. You don't have to tell me that. Afterward, look to your experience to find your truth. Yeah, I do that too. One day, if you have a great deal of courage, I have courage, you'll experience a world where making love, oh no, I don't need this courage, I don't need, is considered better than making war. On that day, we'll rejoice. He's trying to put a thing that is, not say profane, but stupid with another stupid and perverse. He's comparing a pervert actions. A perverted action is the sexual anarchy, and with the perverse is the war for just the frustration of all the men frustrations, and with the mix up with the pervert becomes the same goddamn thing to me. Join the pervert, which is the sexual anarchy, with the perverse, which is the war anarchy. Chapter 7. Life so scary and so confusing. I wish things could be more clear. There's nothing scary about life if you are not attached to results. You mean if you don't want anything? That's right, choose but don't want. That's this for people who don't have anybody depend on them. What if you have a wife and children? Yeah, so indeed, what if we do have somebody who needs eyes? Huh? Is you who going to support eyes? Surely not. So, choose but don't want. How come I choose something? Okay, now I want to live on the countryside. I choose it. Then suddenly I don't want when I get. Oh, I don't want. Why? Because I have just chosen. You see, I did not want it. I just want to choose. How to understand it? You are schizophrenic. My gosh. Gazoops. So, the past he replies to the dude there saying that he needs the money for his family. The part of the householder has always been the most challenging part. Perhaps the most challenging, as you pointed out, is to want nothing when you are only dealing with yourself. Yeah, even when you are dealing with yourself, we need to love ourselves. Okay, but then you can show something, but not as it mean as we would wish if you had somebody as our subject that look open eyes to help them. So you have others you love to want only the best for them. It hurts you and you can't give them all that you want them to have. A nice home, some decent clothes, enough food. I feel as though I've been struggling for 20 years just to make ends meet, and I still have nothing to show for it. You mean in terms of material wealth? I mean in terms of just some of the basics that a man would like to pass on to his children. I mean in terms of some of the very simple things a man would like to provide for his wife. I see you see it as your job in life to provide all these things. Is that what you imagine your life to be about? Well, if it's not his job, then it would be who? Your job or his wife? Huh? And takes two to tango, sir. At least he's been responsible. At least I want to think this way that he really is. I'm not sure I stated that way. That's not what my life is about. But it sure would be nice if this could be a byproduct at least. Well, let's go back then. What do you see your life being about? That's a good question. I've had a lot of different answers to that through the years. What is your answer now? It feels as though I have two answers to that question. The answer I would like to see and the answer I'm seeing. What's the answer you'd like to see? I would like to see my life being about the evolution of my soul. I'd like to see my life being about experiencing the part of me I love most. The part of me that is compassion and patience and a giving and helping. The part of me that's knowing and wise, forgiving and love. Sounds like you've been reading this book. Do we need to read books like this to experience being all this? I don't think so. Yes, well, it's a beautiful book on an esoteric level, but I'm trying to figure out how to practicalize that. The answer to a question that I see being real in my life is that it is about day-to-day survival. Oh, and you think one thing precludes the other? Well, you think esoterics preclude survival? Or why must we follow esoterics forget about that? Unless you learn just to expose something that you don't agree about or criticize, but to follow blindly and then be a devotee and then link the shoes of the feet of these beings. No way, not me. The truth is, I would like to do more than just survive. I've been surviving all these years. I notice I'm still here, but I would like the struggle for survival to end. I see that just getting by from day to day is still a struggle. I would like to do more than just survival. I would like to prosper. And what would you call prospering? Having enough that I don't have to worry where my next dollar is coming from. Not having to stress and strain just to make the rent so you don't work or handle the phone bill. I hate to get so mundane, but we are talking real life here, not the airy-fairy spiritual romanticized picture of life you draw throughout this book. Do I hear a little anger there? I shouldn't we be frustrated about our life anyway? Not the anger so much as frustration. I've been at the spiritual game for over 20 years now, and I look where it gotten me. One paycheck away from the poor house, and now I've just lost my job, and it looks like the cash flow has stopped again. I'm getting really tired of this struggle. I am 49 years old back then in the 90s, and I would like to have some security in life so that I could devote more time to God stuff, to soul evolution. Of course, if not stupid, you go before you can learn how to crawl, you're already running. That's where my heart is, but it's not where my life allows me to go. Well, if you say the multiple there, and I suspect you are speaking for a whole lot of people when you share the experience. Sure he do. I'm going to respond to your truth one sentence at a time, so that we can easily track and dissect the answer. You have not been at this spiritual game for 20 years. You have been barely skirting the edges of it, but I've been more than that. This is not a spanking, by the way. This is just a statement of the truth. I will concede that for 2 decades you've been looking at it, flirting with it, experimenting now and then. But I haven't felt your truest. And why should he? Why should he have a life to live, man? Your truest commitment to the game until just recently. Let's be clear that being at a spiritual game means dedication your whole mind, your whole body, your whole soul to the process of creating self, the image and likeness of God. This is a process of self-realization about which Eastern mystics have written. Well, why must we follow those people for? Why must we? Those are deadbeats to me. They have nothing else to do, nothing better. It's the process of salvation to which mass Western theology has devoted itself. I disagree. Salvation means to know, means to get away from all those dogmas, nonsense, and religions nonsense. That's salvation, when you tap into your own supraconsciousness and into your own Akashic records without the help of third parties that most of the time comes only to deceive you. This is a day-to-day, hour-to-hour, moment-to-moment an act of supreme consciousness. It's a choosing and a re-choosing every instant. It's ongoing creation, conscious creation with a purpose. It's using the tools of creation we have discussed, and using them with warnings and sublime intention. That is playing this spiritual game. Now, how long have you been at this? Well, I have been more than that, and well, it didn't bring me anywhere but the path of perdition and despair and suffering. I haven't even begun. Don't go from an extreme to the other, and don't be so hard on yourself. You have been dedicated to this process, and you actually engaged in it more than you'll give yourself credit for. But you haven't been doing so for 20 years, or anything close to that. Yet the truth is, how long you've been engaged in it is not important. Are you engaged in it now? That's all that matters. Let's move on with your statement. You ask us to look where it has gotten you, and you describe yourself as being one step away from the poorhouse. I look at you and see a quite different thing. I see a person who is one step away from the rich house. Well, depends how he broke. So let's move on with your statement. You ask us to look where it's gotten you, and you describe yourself as being one step away from the poor house. I look at you and see a quite different thing. I see a person who is one step away from the rich house. It all depends how he views things. If he views somebody who has more than him, then he feels envious and resentful. But if he see himself if he compares himself with someone who has less, then he feel grateful for what he has. You feel you are one paycheck from oblivion, and I see you as one paycheck from nirvana. Now much depends, of course, on what you see as your pay and to what ends you are working. If the object of your life is to acquire what you call security, I see and understand why you feel you are one paycheck from the poorhouse, because he's live from day to day, dude. He want to live for tomorrow also, so that he will leave the legacy for his family in case he dies. Do you understand, Donald? So far, so blur. I'm a mortal being and I understand more about psychology than you. It's a shame. So, so that's how he sees it. He sees himself in the future, not just in the present. Because many people, we are just for eyes. We are living only on the present. We don't live for tomorrow. Even this assessment is open to correction. Because if my pay, all good things come to you. Oh, see. Including the experience of feeling secure in the physical world. Yeah, if legions of the devils, go and see on my channel there. Legions of the devil to protect you, hey? And I don't know how much paycheck you're gonna pay those people who works for you. Never do. Ask the pastors anyway. My pay, the payoff you get when you work for me, provides a great deal more than spiritual comfort. Physical comfort too can be yours. Wow, what a man, what a promise. They are always promising me that, but nothing is moving yet forward. They are always promising. Yet the ironic part about all this is that once you experience the kind of spiritual comfort my payoff provides, the last thing you'll find yourself worrying about is physical comfort. Oh, I see. So first he promised material things, but then he lubricated the person. He manipulated the mind of the person in spiritual stuff, so that eventually and hopefully he will forget about the spiritual world, and then he lives only by bread and water every day. Even the physical comfort of members of your family will no longer be a concern to you when you become a good-for-nothing, deadbeat, and irresponsible, like this beings here. For once you rise to a level of God consciousness, you'll understand that you are not responsible for any other human soul. You are not responsible until you make them so. And if he is not, as I said before, she will be. If he is not, he will be. So you see woman as just a play object and sexual object. Is it? Oh, when it comes to woman, he only mentioned about sex. Have you noticed that? How misogynist of this, how pervert. Just like your sons here. Shame on you. The last thing you'll find yourself worrying about is physical comfort. The more I feel pain, the more angry I become. I don't go about and cry. Even the physical comfort of the members of your family will no longer be a concern to you when you become irresponsible and a deadbeat and a good for nothing. For once you rise to a level of God consciousness, you'll understand that you are not responsible for any other human soul, and that while it is commendable to wish every soul to live in comfort, each soul must choose. Is choosing its own destiny. This is done. Yes, but not a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old. Do you understand? Satan. So, clearly it's not the highest action to deliberately abuse or destroy another. Clearly, it is equally inappropriate to neglect the needs of those you have caused to be dependent on you. And why are you giving? You are giving ropes to the robot to climb on the house for? Huh? If you are saying this now, you are so inconsistent. Clearly is not the hasty action to deliberately abuse or destroy another. Clearly is equally inappropriate to neglect the needs of those you have caused to be dependent on you. Your job is to render them independent. Independent means on their own, hungry. The woman strives to support the kids and the children growing up, sometimes hating the father, sometimes not. It always depends. And the stupid father allow them to grow up. When they grow up, become adults, they want them back. This is the historics of the humans I have seen around. They wait, they don't look after when young, when big, they want to cry, pretend to cry, go to the paternity courts to prove that 30-over-year-old adult is the children. Funny thing is, when that same adult 30 years ago or 40 years ago or 25 years ago when a little child of 5, this father did not even acknowledge them as a child and that they existed. In fact, they want those children away from him. And I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about what I see in the internet. Even the physical, clear is not has accept deliberate abuse or destroy another. Clearly is equally inappropriate to neglect the need of those you have caused to be dependent on you. Your job is to render them independent, to teach them as quickly and completely as possible how to get along without you. For you are no blessing to them so long as they need you to survive. Yeah, but there is time for it. You don't say that to a 10, 12-year-old. But bless them truly only the moment they realize you are unnecessary. In the same sense, God's greatest moment is the moment you realize you need no God. You need no God. I know, this is the antithesis of everything you ever been taught. Yet your teachers have told you of an angry God, a jealous God, a God who needs to be needed. That's not a God at all, but a neurotic substitute for that which would be a deity. A true master is not the one with the most students, but the one who creates the most masters. A true leader is not the one who with the most followers, but one who creates the most leaders. A true king is not the one with the most subjects, but one who leads the most to royalty. That's beautiful, but why you speak about that we need God, blah blah blah, and I've been this game of spirituality for? Turns around and say another thing. Is so dichotomic, so I don't know, is how to say, it's a paradox. A true teacher is not the one with the most knowledge, but one who causes the most others to have knowledge. And a true God is not the one with the most servants, but one who serves the most, thereby making gods of all others. For this is both the goal and the glory of God, that his subjects shall be no more, and that all shall know God, not as the unattainable. And a true God is not the one with the most servants, but one who serves the most, thereby making gods of all others. For this is both the goal and the glory of God, that his subjects shall be no more, and that all shall know God, not as the unattainable, but as the unavoidable, who cannot be avoided. I would that you could understand. Your happy destiny is unavoidable. You cannot not be saved. There is no hell except not knowing this. So now, as parents, spouse, and loved ones, seek not to make of your love a glue that binds, but rather a magnet that force attracts, then turns around and repels. Lest those who are attracted begin to believe they must stick to you to survive. That's true. Nothing could be farther from the truth. Nothing could be more damaging to another. Yeah, okay, I understand. But when the kids are young or minor, the parents must there to assist them. There's no such thing as run away from responsibility. Once the child reaches, let's say, 18-year-old, 21, he can live their own life. I lived my life at 17. Why can't the others? Let your love propel your beloveds into the world and into the full experience of who they are, and this will have truly loved. It's great challenge, this part of the householder, that there are many distractions, many worldly concerns. Yeah, I've been there. I played this game. No more, man. No more. I wouldn't do it again. No, never. Too traumatic. The ascetic, and lucky you if you pass with flying color in this game of motherhood, of fatherhood. So he's brought his worldly concerns. The ascetic is bothered by none of this. He's brought his bread and water and given his humble mat on which to lie, and he can devote his every hour to prayer, meditation, and contemplation of the divine. Easy life is, and also bums. How is to see the divine under such circumstances? How simply a task! Ah, but give one a spouse and children. See the divine a babe who needs changing at 3 a.m. Imagine 5 of them. Imagine 5. See the divine a bill that needs paying by the force of the month. Recognize the hand of God in the illness that takes a spouse, the job that's lost, the child's fever, the child falls, the child's disease, the child forced to attempt to be free, become a teenager, the parent's pain. Now you're all talking saintliness, and yet there are some serpents out there, evil monsters, who actually promote the killing of parents. This Mamad, the one who marks my channels here from Egypt, is the one. He goes around promoting this to shoot your parents, even good parents who buy a puppy to your children, to their children. He concealed them. He advised them to grown up and kill the parents. So evil, so stupid, very stupid man. So this is what saintliness is about. Be a mother. Be a mother of more than 2 children, or be a father who dedicated his life also to the family. Whoever is in charge of the household and the child raising, children raising, or go outside to earn the money, bring in paycheck, doesn't matter. It's a tough job. It's a thing to work just for you, and another is to work for family. Sacrifice for them. Stay up when they are sick. Send them to school. Bring back to school. Cook. Clean after them. This is slavery. Really it is. And there's no payout. Don't tell me, oh, it's payout. It's reward. No, the reward is maybe play with them sometime, see them smile, happy. That's the reward. But You don't need these once they are grown up. They grown up into adulthood because it's their life. They live their life. Besides, we change as we grow up. We are not the same soul that we were when we were a young child. It's not the same soul as you were when you were a teenager of maybe 14 to 19 to 10, 21-year-old. We are not the same. We're not the same at 30 or 40, 50s. We are always changing. Fractions of soul, part of us are moving away, others coming in. Okay, so you're not the same. So I don't think that I wouldn't choose to be a parent anymore. I don't want too much trauma. In fact, I never really wanted that. It just happened. Just so unfortunately happened to be hooked by marriage. So, recognize the hand of God in the willing seed that takes a spouse, the job that's lost, the child's fever, the parent's pain. Now we are talking about being sane, being a saint, a real saint, be a real God. Your parents are God because they took care of you. I understand your fatigue. I know you are tired of the struggle. Yet I tell you this, when you follow me, the struggle disappears. Live in your God space and the events become blessings, one and all. Don't do that. You must take care of your children, for it's your responsibility. As you make your bed, lay on it. As you bake your cake, eat it. How can I get to my God space when I've lost my job? Of course, this one don't talk about if this being they have no brain. I've lost my job. The rent need is paying. The kids need a dentist. And being in my lofty philosophical space seems the least likely way to solve any of this. Do not forsake me when you need me most. Now is the hour of your greatest testing. Now is the time of your greatest chance. Is the chance to prove everything that has been written here. When I say don't forsake me, I sound like that needy, neurotic God we're talking about. But aren't you? But I'm not. You can forsake me all you want. I don't care. And it won't change a thing between us. I merely say this in answer to your questions. It's when the going gets tough that you so often forget who you are and the tools I have given you for creating the life that you would choose. Now is the time to go to your God space more than ever. First, it will bring you great peace of mind, and from a peaceful mind to great ideas flow. Ideas which could be solution to the biggest problems you imagine yourself to have. Second, it's in your God space that you self-realize, and that is the only purpose of your soul. When you are in your God space, you know and understand that all you are now experiencing is temporary. I tell you that heaven and earth shall pass away, but you shall not. This everlasting perspective helps you to see things in their proper light. You can define these conditions and circumstances as what they truly are. Temporary. Yeah, my one is so temporary, and it lasts for 40 years this year. 40 years temporary. Imagine the real deal, huh? Imagine the permanent one. Imagine the permanent one if the temporary one between parentheses lasts 40 years or more. All this is nonsense, though truly are temporary and temporal. You made them use them as a tools for what? To be bitter, to be frustrated, angry? Is that what you want, sir? For what is what they are temporal tools in the creation of the present experience. And I don't want to know about, but in our, this is your world. In our world, 40 years is about maybe 40 hours. That's what it represents for us. But we are counting in our time. Dim your time. I'm not talking about your time. I'm talking about our linear time here on earth. Just who do you think you are in relationship to experience called the lucid job? Who do you think you are? And perhaps more to the point, who do you think I am? Do you imagine this is too big a problem for me to yes, it can be a problem. It can be a problem because it's not you who going through all this. It's be a big problem for me to solve. Is getting out of the jam too big a miracle for me to handle? I understand that you may think it's too big for you to handle, even if all the tools I have given you. But do you really think it's too big for me? Not for you! Oh my gosh, why compare them with technological structure to make things happen with our limited possibilities and abilities? Oh no, I don't believe I'm dealing with this kind of beings. It doesn't make any sense to me. No rationalism. Gazoops. Of course, it's not difficult for you, but for us is. You cannot compare yourselves to us. And you all live in group. They are coward and shameless. They live in 100,000 of a group. Whereas we live sometimes like me, I'm totally alone. I solve my problem all alone, all by myself. Nobody to help. And that's the case of many people there. It's different when you have a gang like them and many others here. But it's different when we are alone. We have to face all this alone. My gosh! No intelligence at all, or you are cheating. I know intellectually that no job is too big for God, but emotionally I guess I can't be sure. Not whether you can handle it, but whether you will. Bravo! Bravo! Exactly. This was what I was about to say. It's not about you can or not handle aliens, but whether you will be willingly to handle, because your doings as well. It's your responsibility. And when you talk about family and being responsible toward the families, it's because you have your mind guilty of not have take responsibility in the project that you do around this system of galaxies. Bingo! I'm smart. Don't play fast because we are smart. I know intellectually, so I see. So it's a matter of faith. Look at how stupid he doesn't even know how to argue. I see. So it's a matter of faith. Yes. You don't question my ability, you merely doubt my desire. Well, we don't question your ability, sir, but we doubt your will to solve many problems here. You see, I still live this in theology that says there may be a lesson in here somewhere for me. I'm still not sure I'm supposed to have a solution. Maybe I'm supposed to have the problem. Maybe this is one of those tests my theology keeps telling me about. So I worry that this problem may not be solved. That this is one of those you are going to let me hang here with. Yeah, and they do nothing about it. Because they say you already come with the configuration and there's nothing you can do because I already know the program. of your fate between parentheses. Is your fate. There's nothing you can do, no matter what you do. And you cannot undo it. This is what they were supposed to say, and not go about the bushes so as to fool one more time. The fools, at least, Nami. Perhaps this is a good time to go over once more how it is that I interact with you. Because you think it is a question of my desire, and I'm telling you it's a question of yours. I want for you what you want for you. Nothing more, nothing less. I don't sit here and make a judgment, request by request, whether something should be granted you. My law is the law of cause and effect, not the law of will see. There is nothing you can't have if you choose it. Even before you ask, I will have given it to you. Do you believe this? I don't believe. No. Good. Me too, I don't believe. Because we have been through so much touch and suffering in life that we are already like, we don't trust anybody in anything anymore. So no, we don't trust you. Go fool the that's there who lives in the Alice in Wonderland. Oh, how wonderful, how wonderful! Alice in Wonderland. I am Alice in Wonderland, or Alice. Alice and Alice in Wonderland. No, I'm sorry. I've seen too many prayers go unanswered. Yeah, you better sleep on it, because if you stay awake, it's gonna tire you. Don't be sorry, just always state the truth. The truth of your experience. I understand that. I honor that. That's okay with me. Why should not be okay with you? Thoroughly asking nothing. Good, because I don't believe that whatever I ask, I get. My life has not been a testimony to that. In fact, I rarely get what I ask for. When I do, I consider myself damned lucky. That is an interesting choice of words. You have an option, it seems. In your life, you can either be damned lucky or you can be blessing luck. Oh, don't come with nonsense here, because it doesn't matter whether damned or blessed, you don't get nevertheless. I'd rather you be blessing lucky. But of course, I'll never interfere with your decisions. He's trying to play, with him, because he wants him to enter into his game and convert, and then worship him, and then get penalties in life, get a meager sum here, meager sum there, just to fool you and bribe you. And after that, when you are already inside his trap, he will embellish you. I tell you this, you always get what you create, and you are always creation. That's nonsense again, nonsense. I do not make a judgment about the creations that you conjure. I simply empower you to conjure more and more and more and more. Yeah, but you give the tools, but you don't give the opportunities. That's the thing. If you don't like whatever you just created, choose again. My job as God is to always give you that opportunity. There's no sense that you don't give no opportunity. You just give a list what we should do. Choose. But whether you're gonna get it is another thing. Now, you are telling me that you haven't always gotten what you wanted. Yet I'm here to tell you that you have always gotten what you called forth. Now he come again with twisted psychology, inverted one. Your life is always a result of your thoughts about it, including your obviously creative thoughts that you seldom get what you choose. Now, In this present stance, you see yourself as the victim of the situation and the losing of your job. Yet the truth is that you no longer choose that job. You stopped getting up in the morning in anticipation and began getting up with dread. You stopped feeling happy about your work and began feeling resentment. I don't believe. There's people who are so enthusiastic about their work. They put their heart, soul, and body into it. But yet what they get is all abuse and exploitation. I don't believe it is lie. All written here is lie. Work and begin feeling resentment. You even begin fantasizing to something else. No, that's not true. That's not true. There's people who love their jobs and yet lost it. No, that's not true. So what is your intention now? Do you intend to prove your theory that life seldom brings you what you choose? Or do you intend to demonstrate who you really are and who I am? I feel chagrined, satisfied, embarrassed. Why should we? You believe in this manipulator, or you are the one? I don't believe in all these things saying here. Does that serve you? Why not simply acknowledge the truth when you hear it and move toward it? There is no need to recriminate against yourself. Simply notice what you've been choosing and choose again. But why I'm so ready to always choose the negative and then to spank myself for it? What can you expect? You were told from your earliest days that you are bad. You accept that you were born in sin. Feeling guilt is a learned response. You've been told to feel guilt about yourself for things you did before you could even do anything. You have been taught to feel shame for being born less than perfect. That's bullcrap again, man. Hogwash. I don't need to be taught all these things to go through all the things that I've been through. No, there's no such thing. Nothing that is being said here ever had effect on me or kind of affected me. This alleged state of imperfection in which you are said to have come into this world is what your religionists have the goal to call original sin, and is this alleged state of imperfection which you are said to have come into this world is what your religionists have the gall to call original sin. And it is original sin, but not yours. Is the first sin to be perpetrated upon you by a world which knows nothing of God, if it thinks that God would or could create anything imperfect. These original sins come from this Enki manipulate the DNA of the original primordial Homo sapiens already here when he first came. That was called the original sin. Yet, in order to justify the idea of a punitive God, your religions needed to create something for me to be angry about, so that even those people who lead exemplary lives somehow need to be saved. If they don't need to be saved from themselves, then they need to be saved from their own built-in imperfection. So these religions say you'd better do something about all of this and fast, or go straight to hell. That's true. This is the end. This is the end. It may do nothing to mollify a weary, vindictive, angry God. God, but it does give life to weird, vindictive, angry religions. Thus, do religions perpetuate themselves? Thus does power remain concentrated in the hands of the few, rather than experienced through the hands of the many? Of course, you choose constantly the lesser thought, the smaller idea, the tiniest concept of yourself and your power, to say nothing of me and mine, and you've been taught to. May God, how can I undo the teaching? My God, how can I undo the teaching? A good question, and address it to just the right person. You can undo the teaching by reading and rereading this book over and over again to better be manipulated. Read it until you understand every passage, until you are familiar with every word. When you can quote its passage to others, when you can bring its phrases to mind in the midst of the darkest hour, then you will have undone the teaching. Yet there is still so much I want to ask you, still so much I want to know. Oh, whining. Indeed, you began with a very long list of questions. Shall we get back to it? Ends of chapter 6 and 7 for now.